Hello, Rebel Gman Division 4 seed as I, Gman Milk, your recapper again with Lord Brainlord, your co-recapper for Game Week 10.
Hi everybody.
It's going to be a real one this time. We're actually going to do a recap, which will not, unlike the
A
15
real
minutes that
recap.
we did of the last one, and then we did 10 minutes of just chatting shit.
So sad we lost all that quality content.
It was good. No, we actually put a lot of effort into it, and then when we broke it, we were like. We'd
We
missed
needed to
too
get a
many.
better here.
We'd missed too many in the previous weeks for us not to do something. So we were getting there. But
But we were broken men.
I am a broken man still. But nevertheless, let's not let bad times suppress our drive to go forward into the future. Let's start out with the first game of the week: the Open Craft Builders versus REBBL Orcs. We said this could be probably going to be a 1-1. Depends really if Claw fires, and I guess Claw did fire.
Quite a lot of armor breaks, isn't it, for an armor 9 to receive?
16 armor breaks. That some of those must have been fouls because of the expulsions of all the stompy potentially, or if there was a chainsaw induced as well. Let's see if there was a chainsaw induced. Doesn't seem like it. Yep, no chainsaw seems to be. There's no chainsaw that was doing things. We would have seen it in the logs. But 1-0. That's impressive for Tom Racing, I believe it is.
It is. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nice for him, isn't it? I
It
think.
is. He did outblock him, as in he did outblock Rimbo, but we don't know how much of that came as a consequence of inflicting so many KOs, for example.
The classic snowball. Yeah.
Precisely.
I'm afraid I didn't watch this game, so I can't tell you.
But I
Let's just presume that it did.
will say, hats off to Tom Racing. Tom Racing, I think, was one of the coaches who said, "Oh yeah, I'm a bit new in comparison, like early in the season. So anything you guys say really helps out." So I'm glad that he's having a much stronger mid to late season. All in all,
It's very
really.
satisfying, isn't it? It feels like it's real progress.
Of course, yeah.
Like a nice win like this. We were thinking of a pretty finely balanced game, whereas
That's
it
fair.
looks fairly comfortable as a victory for the lad.
Yeah, he won the bashing game 100%. It definitely seems like.
And yeah, sort of ball possession and yards running and stuff. It never looks like Rorimba had as much comfortable possession as the Craft Beers did.
Absolutely. Moving on, we now have Freya's Guard versus Alpha Martis, and I think we both agreed that the Freya's Guard would snap the ever-living shit out of the elves.
And yeah, it looks like we're pretty much on with that.
Yeah, 26 armor
26
breaks
armor breaks.
out of
That's
47
quite a lot.
blocks succeeded. It's probably worth pointing out some of those must have been fouls because there is an
Big week for
expulsion.
fouls, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it wasn't all as it seems, but it's still pretty much high rolling. Let's see the armor dice for the old. Armor dice were good for the Freya's Guard, 78%. But for the armor
Ooh,
dice for
45%.
well, it's like I see this and I go, oh, that's pretty bad. But then I think back to how many games I had recently with my Pro Elves and CCL. I'm like, I keep seeing 45%ers. This isn't just Norse being incredibly amazing at smashing slightly lower armor teams. This is just what happens to elves, I guess. But nevertheless,
That's, I do want to point out some thwart shadowing going on there. Looks like there were 3 successful shadows from our favourite
we
first skill shadowing
we
Norse lineman.
we honestly do love to see that little statistic pop up in our inbox every single recap. There's also bombs being thrown. I can't remember how the TV shakes out, but let's. I have a suspicion. Okay, we're gonna go into Freya's Guard to see if he has Knuffles Ultra or something. He
I
does.
think there's also
He does.
right, so that's a very cheap player, isn't it?
Yeah. So you're paying 10k for block 9 armor, bombardier. Yeah, that's really good. Honestly, that's
Does have a risk though. Looking at the impact of the bomb stats and the intercepts, looks like Dark Quack managed to grab a bomb and throw it back at one stage.
Yeah,
which
I
is
mean that's like if that's that's the risk. Which is like when you're playing elves, I don't typically like to throw. I'm greedy, so I would like to throw in between like 4 elves in the cage. But knowing that like Incept could be a 5, or knowing that like if they do get the ball in Incept and that's just a natural 6, they could easily get it back to us.
they can throw it back way better than you can throw it to them. Yeah,
Yeah, but I will say this seems like a pretty. Although elves will always score that one touchdown no matter what, unless you literally decimate them by receiving and hurting them. You know, I do think that really had Dark Quark's card here, unfortunately. Didn't get any blocks in really. Inflicted a single KO. Yeah, really
it's grim,
unfortunate.
isn't it?
And a death also sustained, so can't wait to see what will happen there.
We'll get to see that in a bit. Yeah, let's not spoil it.
No, definitely not. But we will now move on to Thermonuclear Pom versus Shogun Elf Storage and 30 armor breaks.
30. Yeah, I thought 26 was a lot. This is far more than that. It's even more.
It's 30 out of 35 blocks exceeded, so
There were quite a lot of fouls in this game. As
3
well.
kills inflicted.
3 kills.
Wow. I mean, like to be honest, like this can always happen to elves versus Shorfs. It really can happen. Like this isn't just. This is unlucky, of course. This is still pretty close to a dicing, and I'm sure, like that's. But
Still 75% injury, which is
I mean,
not incredible.
no, I mean, like you go to the statistics or the dice rolls or whatever, even though dice don't exist. Armor 42% again. Like it's an injury there.
You've
That,
got
yeah,
42%. You've got that can happen, but 75% injury is grim.
that is harsh. And obviously, this is the Carl Jaeger's game, so we go to the Carl Jaeger report. Carl Jaeger's game was this.
You should probably play Adagio for strings or something over this report, listeners at home.
Yes, we would edit this in. Normally we'd be like editing like Ave Maria in, but we don't want to put any effort, so we're not going to. But anyway, so his first pre-game was like, I hate Shorts. I think they're nonsense. Like I played Shorts after someone called me out after I called them like overpowered. I was like, okay, have you ever played them? So I took him up on the challenge, and I played 24 games of Shorts in the Chaos Invitational, and after 2 seasons, he didn't lose a game. So, his prognosis there was, I will lose.
Fair play.
The next update was, move War Dancer, foul, dead, Apo, dead. Throw a blitz, what turn 1, dead. Got blitz on my 1-turn attempt. On offense, I snaked my hand off. Without the movement up War Dancer, playoff chance would be gone because, Wolfbark will probably just sweep it now. And the 1-turner died as well. The 1-turner catcher, I think, died.
A cowboy.
Yeah, and guess what? 55% of the dodges worked. 11 success out of 9 fail.
It's rubbish, isn't it?
Yeah. But, Take Root succeeded 9 out of 9 times, so in many ways...
That's true, yeah. You've got to say, basically, it was completely even.
Completely fair. He also rolled a stunning 8 powers to 13. And obviously, to be fair, we can't really always look at the dice and go, oh, well, this explains the game entirely. Yeah, it seems like Calcium has good dice, but at the same time, Calcium is a good player. We know Calcium is a good player.
I think like most of it seemed like broadly okay,
Yeah.
but the injury dice were just insane.
Well, I mean,
It was like first blitz death.
Yeah, this happens.
It just sort of continued like that. Yeah.
Well, it's like I played Pro Elves in a league that I'm in, and I had to reroll halfway through because on like game 3 or 4, like literally it was like dead, niggle, dead on like at least 2 or 3 positionals as well. So I was playing for like the next 3 or 4 games with maybe 1 or 2 positionals, and then like the odd straggler line elf that was still kicking about. Until I went from still winning my games because I was just good at like playing the team and my opponents were, less so, to doesn't matter what happens, I would be losing against anyone, and I was losing against people, so I lost like 2 out of like 2 games when I had not lost a game before that in about like 20 or 30 games in that league, and I was like, oh well, time to re-roll. It does happen. It's a grim game for the poor Sugar Elf Storage. Not to obviously ever taking away anything from Cow Team. He knows how to use a Chorf team to a massive effect, and this is what the Chorf team does.
Yeah, he plays well. Okay, he uses his bull centaurs, and whenever anything happened, he took advantage of it
Yeah,
very nicely. And yeah, I think his gameplay was like, you can't fault it. He just happened to get great injury dice, which obviously he's gonna take if he gets them.
he's not gonna apologise and go, "Oh, I'm so sorry." If only the game had been a bit fairer, because like you're playing elves against in your Chorfs. It's not like, yeah, if only this was a great game of amazing ball play, blah blah. Like
Me
no,
getting dunked on.
I hit elf die. So like
This is
that's
like the dream game for him, isn't it? I mean, that's a good 200 SPP or something he wiped out.
yeah, he got literally 2 Babgillion SPP.
We'll get to see that in the team review later on. It's a spicy one. We'll have plenty to say.
Excited, even though I don't like people's teams being destroyed unless they're like.
No, I'm gutted when it's on this team. I read the injury report at work, and I was like, genuinely sad that this is.
Like this week, it's happened like 3 elf teams where it's just been like you go into like the report, it's like all the loners died, and then a bunch of other things got maimed. And it was like, oh my god! Like there's one that I just screen capped and put into like another chat in another league, and I was like, oh my god! It was
It's
just
not
grim.
fair, is it? It's just people who play AV7 teams in these Eternal Leagues, they're braver than Marines.
They are literally, they are braver than the 9/11 first responders.
Absolutely.
And they're likely to die before the 9/11 first responders, because it doesn't matter if like, oh yeah, you got a bit of asbestos and carcinogens in your lungs. Well, guess what? These people are like Hans Mole Man, accelerated age to 60.
Whilst getting piled on by Chorf blockers.
Oh yeah, like these guys are like one dodgy pile on the way, or like one assist foul into dead, from like having an absolute stroke at the age of the ripe old age is 17.
It's the dead into dead is what kills me. That's what it's just like. That's just mean, isn't it?
It's bull. Like, the only time I've been like fair enough on a dead into dead was I had saved my Apo all game. Nothing got permed or injured. I had like one Lunar Line Elf on the line that wasn't like knocked out because someone was like doing their turn 16. They stomped on it to be spiteful. Obviously, I don't care. But then I had the Apo still, and it was like dead. Oh no, Apo'd it, dead into dead, and I was like, well, shit, I hope the MVP doesn't land on him because I might have bought him. But he didn't, luckily. So
oh well, silver cloud.
Our next game though. Blocking like a hurricane versus Legion Dead Metal. We wanted Kretzlin to win because he's had a hard season, but we did say Camry likely to completely and absolutely control the shit out of these Necro, and guess what? They did.
53 blocks and 5 injuries. Nothing too awful, but look at that SPP for a Camry team. You've got to love it.
No, yeah, it's like an amazing SPP. I like a little bit of everything going, like some injury dice, injury SPP. Yeah, I mean, horrifically outstrengthed, outguarded. You only really have the one edge piece to do too much. So it's either one, you get to make him score fast enough that you get to like then go score twice and then shoot yourself the 2-1 at least, or the 2-2 at least. Or alternatively, failing that, you manage to sack the ball and then 2-0. Like those are your win states as a necromantic. You just manage to use that one edge piece to clear fast away an amount of turn or 2 and just stop him from having any chance of. Even if you score next turn, just constantly giving him only like 2 or 3 turns on time pressure to do anything. That's how you'd win. But without, I think, a wizard. I don't think there's any wizard in play here.
No, I don't believe so.
No, so without wizard in play or anything, it's much harder. They have the way to control the pitch and to stop people getting good blitzes on his pieces. So that's not really going to happen unless unless he just completely fucks up and like drops the ball. But he hasn't, because his pickups aren't so good.
His pickups I'm guessing there was a turn 1 and turn 2 sort of thing. But
yeah,
there's not, the dice are really down the middle for both teams. It's just this Khemri team favourable matchup, and they're looking great right now, aren't they?
They are. They're a very good team. So hats off, therefore, to the Khemri shooting up that leaderboard. But our last game is a bit of a... Well, it's not too surprising. But it kind of is. It's Wolfbark.
I was surprised by this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was Wolfbark versus Ricky Titan. And we predicted either a very high scoring scoreline, or Wolfbark would knock the shit out of Ricky Titan's team with the claw, well, not the claw, the mighty blow tackle stuff, plus also, you know, God Saka and all that. Like, this is a really bad matchup for still a pretty fresh, high elf team, but doesn't appear to be the case now. Wonder why that was. Did you watch this game?
I did, yeah. So talking about getting the shit kicked out of him by the bomber guy.
It doesn't look like it because what I'm reading is 17 skulls, 8 pals, 19 both downs, 9 defender stumbles.
I think turn 2, Wolfbark greed re-rolls a push with that guy into double skulls into Miss Next game. Just gone straight away.
Oh, brilliant.
And so, yeah, that suddenly massively blunted him. And just a lot of things didn't bang for Wolfbark, basically. You know, ones on hands off, the annoying snakes at awkward times. They both had quite a few double skulls. And, yeah, it was sort of a 1-1 first half, and then second half was better for Wolfbark. Lots of... he defended nicely, nicked the ball, and it just went back and forth over and over again. He could never quite keep it safe, even if he could keep nicking it back with this ridiculous elk meme Saka. And then he just messed up a handoff for 2-1 right at the end.
Which
just
is unlucky.
Just didn't quite bang for him. He's a little bit unlucky.
Yeah.
It's nothing outrageous, but just lots of little bits of bad luck.
I mean, like one could say like, oh well, it's a greed reroll, but at the same time, like double skulls is still pretty rare.
That's why I'm terrified of rolling blocks, is for those double skulls. But it's so rare. It's not a bad decision to do that sort of thing.
Yeah, I only greed reroll something if it's like, well, it's not even a greed reroll. Like the only time I would reroll like a non-turnover block is if it's like both down skull and it would get my killer stuck on something, and it's like Underworld. I have to do that all the time. If I'm not glitching my Juggernaut piece. But like that's one not a greed reroll, I guess. So I'm just chatting guff, but like I wouldn't really do a push thing unless it was like, yeah, this could really be fruitful. So I would probably re-roll that greedily if it was just like he gave me a hit on his killer, like his best killer, and I can pile on and claw it. Then I would be like, yeah,
I think this was just actually looking at the SPP. It must have been on either it or Porox, wouldn't it? If you got the injury.
Yeah.
Which is like, yeah, medium people, but yeah, you don't really account for double skull into casting yourself, do you?
No, like that's an extreme failure state. That's like it's really yeah. So
you just got to dust yourself down. And the Dragons played well, I think, solidly, kept themselves in it when it could have gone wrong. He'll be very happy with a nice little SPP and a draw against what is basically the best team in the division.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, absolutely. And the next 2 games are all probably going to be admin decisions, so we have to move on. But let's look at Krepslim's team. Remember how Krepslim's team was originally like 1800? Isn't anymore.
It's a little bit briefer. I think some of that is just that
MNGs. Is it pretty much
he's swapping his whites in and out, aren't they? Each one gets MNG'd, then the next one gets MNG'd.
Which is,
and that ghoul as well.
Yep, there we go.
We trimmed a zombie as well. I think one got busted.
Must have been like niggled or something. I think I did really got like niggled or armored down or something, which isn't the worst thing in the world. He has like so much money anyway, but this will be toughish for the next game. But he did get good. I don't think he added anything new, but he did got a. He got a strip ball on a ghoul, which is like
strip ball. That's his new, yeah.
Yeah, that's all right.
Which is good if you're going to lose your nice ghoul. It's nice to have your bad ghoul get better.
Personally, I'd still give it just like something stand, like sidestep, honestly, because
you think strip will go better with wrestle, I guess, traditionally as well.
The problem really is, well, no, like strip ball is always still useful no matter what the TV is, because especially with elves, like elves taking strip ball either way is still great because it's not always going to be the case that someone is carrying on their sure hands piece. You usually only have one.
And even if you do have one, it doesn't always happen, does it?
I don't feel like with Necromantic, strip ball comes into play as much.
You're not going to be cage diving on Agility 3, are you, I
No.
suppose?
Yeah, and like you'd rather, if you do get like a clear hit on the ball, you have your werewolves and your whites instead, rather than the strip ball piece.
You'd take the frenzy hits, wouldn't you? I
Yeah,
think there's a block and tackle on a frenzy. Is that even, I don't know the odds, but I feel like that's what I would go for.
it's pretty good odds. I'd even consider doing something like going Rackle on a ghoul first, if you're gonna make a ghoul Saka, which is pretty good.
You see a lot of wrestle tackle ghouls, and I think that does make sense because they can also be like a sort of a safety in that sense
Yeah,
as well. Whereas Stripple doesn't especially help with it.
and even if you do something
It's
like
still interesting.
even if you do something like sidestep adds a bit to the old survivability, and it can really be useful by putting it into like annoying places. So I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, but strip ball is like the second skill choice on a lot of things that aren't like war dancers. Is a little bit iffy for me a lot of the time.
I guess the sort of thing you would pick that if you felt like you've needed it. He's probably played a few games where it's like, oh, I really wish I'd had this now,
Yeah,
and maybe he's just tucking it in. So if
true.
that's the case, then that would see more of a case for it there.
Yeah. Well, because there's not too much on that team, I'll move on now to Sureguard Elf Storage that doesn't have too much on it either.
Look at that team value.
Wow, it's so efficient. So we noticed that Carl Jaeger was buying up in case of the Death Spiral, or not buying up. He was saving for the Death Spiral, and oh boy, was it good that he saved.
Yeah, Animal Mother straight back in, which is very helpful, but still, this losing Cowboy is horrible. Animal Mother, he had Mighty Blow, which is bad to lose, except you've already got another Mighty Blow.
Yeah.
So a fresh War Dancer, it's just like, oh, he doesn't have tackle or whatever. It's not the end of the world.
He still blodged
But
sleep, you know.
exactly, yeah, and you still got Lockhart for your cage diving anyway. But losing Cowboy is very painful. That guy had quite a few skills.
Cowboy was, in a lot of respects, a piece that drew Carl Jaeger games where he had no like business doing that. Not as like a drawback from Carl Jaeger's play, literally because Carl Jaeger's been cazzed so hard by certain people that then the person they played against played a little bit sloppy, let Carl have the smallest or slimmest of chances of getting a one-turn touchdown because of that piece of Cowboy, and it came along. He got what he wanted, like a quick snap or an extra turn or whatever, and he scored that way. So to no longer have that piece which can really come in clutch, it's a big loss.
41 touchdowns Cowboy scored in his career. Basically won a game. That's a big hole to be filled with 0 SPP going with Bale. Who might get some SPP now? That's a silver
Oh
cloud.
god, yeah, that's true. Oh god, so we hope that Gman pile it becomes the star of the team, who will move on now to Rainbow Orcs, who also look a little trimmed because they've lost their Killer Blitzer and their Black Orc with Strength Up and Guard for the next game. One is MNG'd.
Brutal little week, isn't it?
And the other one is MNG'd. Yeah, but this team has nothing to do on it, apart from, I think, block on the thrower.
Yes, that's the one level up there.
Wow, cool.
So, yeah, this team is now looking a bit grim for the next game with its one sort of fun boy. It's kind of its two best players not going to be there.
I don't know, like, this team... It's not that inspiring.
It is probably like the team I get least excited about.
I mean,
in this league,
if I were Remember, I might even consider like you can build a fantastic team still out of this, and you have like a lot of fun pieces.
Oh, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not got going. Yeah.
I would maybe think about re-rolling it. I don't know.
I just buy 12 goblins and see what happens.
Have just a fucking laugh.
I don't know. You got a strength up and an agi up. I wouldn't, and a couple of dodge. It feels like it's fun enough to keep.
Yeah, but Roman needs to put in the shift. He really needs to get the skills on the blitzers still, and he needs to Also, there is in some times there's like a little bit of of you picked the fun skills, you picked a bunch of doubles, and they actually like holding the team down to a bit, to an extent. Like I think that the way that Maroff the Blitzer is like functioning, he's not that great right now. Like there's a lot of games that he would prefer to have something like Mighty Blow and guard rather than edge up and tackle.
Yeah, for a team that is, when it's healthy, like 1800 TV, does not have a lot of guard, does it?
It's not.
Does not have him.
The
Doesn't
issue.
have a lot of high blow.
The issue is not. It's not uniform enough for me. Which against a lot of other bash teams, you need to be uniform as well, because otherwise you'll struggle.
Yeah, sort of solid, tight unit. And that is nice. So you got block on the troll, but you don't have block on a couple of linemen. But they're your bench, I guess. But I don't hate this team. I think it's like nice, but like you say, it's not uniform. It doesn't have that just sort of meaty trench warfare vibe to it.
That's true. That's true. We will now move on to another team that got its bottom blown out, which is Dark Quark's Alpha Artists. Well, he's kept
another boo for this team since it's retiring at the end of the season.
Remember how it boo? Remember how it was like also uniform and nice and healthy?
Now it's got a big hole in it, hasn't it?
It's got which I've got block, which is nice. It's very close to its next skill, but you know, unless it gets Mighty Blow, it's not that inspiring. A bunch of the blitzes is still very like nice and standardized, but he's lost like.
Apart from Sandra, goddamn.
He has no linesman anymore.
Yeah, I'm sure he had some fairly nice linesmen not too long ago.
I think he had some wrestle and maybe a guard. I think it was mostly just wrestle, like the nice skill here and there, and it was just healthy.
But now he's running with what? Is that 3 loners? It's quite a lot for Dark Elves.
Yeah, 3 loners. Yeah, and Dark Elves, because of their movement, can still win, but like it's not like a Pro Elf team where it's like if you have the 2 blitzers and the 4 catchers, you can
run rings. Yeah, you can't run rings around people.
Yeah.
You've got to go toe to toe with guys,
which is a massive issue. But this is getting retired. The only thing that he picked up was the block and some dead pieces. So, my advice for Dark Quark is get an assassin if you can afford it next game.
Hell yeah! And don't re-roll your team into dirty bash.
Dirty fucking bastard bash. Tom Racing's team is next. He's missing a few players from the next game. Funnily and predictably enough, they are also the 2 that he's kept that have niggles.
Why would they be missing? I wonder why that is.
I thought niggles make you invincible.
Yeah, no level ups, but yeah.
That's alright. It's a good team still.
Yeah, he's making it work as well, which is nice to see.
He will struggle for the next game, but depends on who he faces, really.
And I guess long term, it is a concern that his best players are niggled, apart from Johannesser.
Yeah.
You got to get Mighty Blow and guard elsewhere, because these guys won't last forever.
Absolutely. But what we will do is now look at Galordian's team. And his team is very nice. I don't think he picked up anything new apart from a Fen linesman, which is pretty strong.
He does love his Fend. It's quite popular with Norse in general, isn't it? Or get Fend on the.
Yeah, I mean it is. You don't want to keep getting people like you want a bit of control because Norse really is kind of one-dimensional. So you want to have that sort of pitch control element. You don't really need anything else on linesman beyond the block. If you have tackle already as well, like more tackle would just be a bit of a waste. So there's not really anything you can pick apart from the odd double.
That's a very good point. Yeah, unless you get the double for guard or double strength ups, if that's your cup of tea.
You could also think about sometimes like what's the word, Dauntless here and there, but you've also got 2 runners potentially, and then your berserkers will usually get Dauntless at some point, and you'll have the Yeti and the Elf runners, so it's not that imperative. So
especially when you've got a strength 5 lineman.
But with 14 players, still probably the best team in the entire league.
You reckon?
Yeah, I'd say so.
2010 TV Norse.
I mean, this is when they're good, especially when everyone else is below them. So although they'll give away inducements, they'll still just absolutely smash the shite out of everyone. And 7-2-1 this season kind of like proves that to me, I think.
Yeah, this team does not mind, doesn't fear anybody.
Yeah, definitely. We'll now move on to Calcium, who's gotten one skill up, and that was Sure Hands on the Bull Centaur.
We're going for a carrying centaur,
Well,
are we?
he has
Controversial choice.
he has 2 carriers now, so he has 2 Sure Hands, which of course kind of actually no, it doesn't kind of. I was going to say something about the strip ball ghoul.
Actually, he just killed a strip ball player, so he doesn't even need his extra show hands. That guy's dead now.
Yeah. So I mean I understand why people carry on the bull. I do think it's a little bit of a waste still.
I can see, yeah, you can definitely see why. I don't play Chaos Door, so I don't have a strong opinion, but I can see the arguments of both sides.
I mean, I would still very much go like break tackle or guard, mighty blow. I think those are probably stronger than the sure hands pick.
I do like break tackle on a bull.
Unless token ball carrier is like not destined for this world. But then again, Calcium could just keep the sure hands on Sir Squirrel Dude as just like what in case. What if I have to face like an elf matchup? I want to carry on a 4 strength piece. What if I just sack someone and my goblins either KO'd or out of position? You know,
It does give you recovery options, doesn't it? Yeah, movement 9 essentially, agi 3 pickups, so not too awful.
Yeah, but otherwise, yeah. Also, I think he has like an extra. No, he had an extra. Dirty Player Hobgoblin from last week, I think.
Yeah, that's blew me up and lost me. He's yet to get Dirty Player, but I'm sure it won't be that far away.
Next team is Block You Like a Hurricane, and it's literally the same.
So despite getting 200 SPP and killing 50 or 60 players,
I think
we're talking no level ups.
I think at best you got like a wrestle with a skeleton, but that's
He did indeed.
Yeah. Oh well.
Big Team Knights 2.
We would cover Ricky Titan's team, but he has 3 level ups. Very interesting. He hasn't.
Did not take his level ups. Oh, I was going to congratulate him on getting 3 level ups. This is another sort of sweet bit of that draw, so but he hasn't taken them.
We're not going to cover your team. Do one.
170k though. He could get up to double figures of players.
Precisely. He's rich now. We also have Project Angels, Cowraiding Crusaders, who have not.
They're the bye. They've got so. Let's hope for good luck for those guys. I've got a bye week. You got to hope you get some juicy SPP MVP rolls.
Yeah.
Good luck there.
Wolfbark, his team is MG'd, obviously the Stormvermin. We know that. Eliod's dead. Eliod number 2 is dead.
Yeah, that's a short career for us. 2 games for Eliod.
Well, you can replace him immediately, so it's like no big deal.
Gut runners are disgustingly cheap for what they are, aren't they?
Yeah. I could see the double niggle on my last on my Ash 5 gut runner, and I'm gonna have to get rid of him in another league. But I'm not so like I don't hate it too much because like it's 80k and he'll like get back to where he is pretty damn easily.
Yeah, starting with dodge, it's fine.
Yeah, but otherwise the team is nothing. But I will say, as a little cheeky nod, a little cheeky little jab from Wolfbark. His new linesman that he bought is agility +1 ball center.
It's be a pointed comment there.
So my response to that would be, Calcium, are you going to take that? Wolfbark, not only has he just insulted the way you play the game, but has also said that he fucked your mum. You should beat him up.
Yeah, he sent us an email saying that.
Yeah, you should fuck him up. You should just like fuck him, just like kick his head in. Go like, you fucking naughty cunt. Rah!
Just turn up at his house. Here's a bit of mischief for you.
We are going to be the first Blood Bowl recap team to incite people to violence. And then obviously our boss, Dr. Greed, comes and Dr. Hep goes, you shouldn't be doing this. This is not good. I'm like,
can't stop us, Dr. Greed. You're not my real dad.
Not my real dad, and also it's really funny. I'm using a carriage service to harass. And it's brilliant. Our next team, our last team, because again, Rattlesnake hasn't played in like 2 weeks. Siggy, racial insensitivity, has Dark Elves who have got
He's
nothing.
easy aim bye week again, isn't he? So he's not up to much.
Yep, he hasn't played. He hasn't. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. So we're not going to cover his team either. Brill.
Real nice team though.
It's
Love
alright.
to see it.
It's alright. It's not that inspiring. It's alright. It's fine. It's an okay team. Now the predictions will come
Ooh.
after the leaderboard. Yeah.
Ooh.
So it's Wolfbox top, Norse is second, Kemry's third. Chorfs
These
are
three, isn't
fourth.
it? Chorfs have just leapfrogged the elves there in that head-to-head.
Because Chorfs have are like 2 points off from the Challenger spot, Challenger Cup spots.
They could, yeah, they could definitely pull back in there, couldn't they?
And Sugarguard and Dusseldorf Rainfire aren't dead in the water for that, but it's now looking unlikely. It's like
They've got to hit the
4
ground. Yeah,
points or so.
Dusseldorf has started well, faded a bit. This is the time. Yeah, you've got to sort of fire off now, haven't you, for the elves to push back in
The
here.
real problem in this entire thing is just like the top 6 are so strong, while everyone below them is like really fading off.
It's much like the Premier League, isn't it? You've got that big drop to the Everton and Leicesters of the league.
I mean, it's better than like, I don't know, the Spanish leagues where it's, you know, oh,
Look, only 2 teams ever win anything.
It's 2 or maybe, you know, maybe the odd like Atletico Madrid like.
Let's not forget lovely Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, I think someone else
But
won
yeah.
recently-ish. Well, it wasn't Valencia, was it?
Sevilla have been like alright, haven't they?
Yeah.
We're getting off this. Got off on a tangent
This is
here.
now the football
yeah.
podcast.
There are 2 teams, 2 solid teams who haven't had a win all season in the Dark Quarks, Alpha Martis, and the Rainbow Hawks.
Yeah.
Which is some surprising. They've picked up a lot of draws, so it's not like they're just rolling over, but there's a definite tilt there, isn't there? Some teams picking up, like Wolfbark had like a bad game, and it's still a draw.
Yeah.
For him. Whereas, yeah, Alfheim can have a good game, and it's only a draw.
Yeah, definitely.
Top of the year, it's how it looks like.
And, you know, obviously also, again, hats off to Carl Jaeger, who's had, like, a plenty of, like, just shocking games. And it's like, oh, just got a draw, though.
He's one for,
yeah.
Turning up every day and still going for it and getting the results. Not today. Very sad.
Hats off. But we will now go into the predictions quickly. Our first game is going to be Rainbow Orcs versus Legion of Metal. 2 teams struggling, in my opinion, with the 2 pieces that are out for the Orcs. Even though there's 2 pieces out again for the Legion of Metal, I still think edge-wise it goes to Legion of Metal. They have the better edge, they have the better movement. They have claw as well, even if there's no mighty blow on that claw, and they still have that other tackle, white, to do a bit of blodge hunting. So for me, 2-1.
To Legion of Deadmau. I think I think they'll both be up for this. This is like a very big winnable game for both teams. So they'll both go in fancying themselves for it. But I think, on balance, you probably would slightly favour Dead Metal, yeah.
Precisely. Next game, G&M's Mimima versus Sugar Elf Storage. Probably going to be an admin decision at this point.
Which will be nice for Sugar. I'd get a bit more money. We can buy another capture at the end of this game.
I literally cannot wait to see how Carl Jaeger manages to lose a player to a death spiral in this game.
in an admin mate.
Yeah,
this could be 5 MVP for going with Pile when it's out of his hands. He won't be able to refuse to put SPP on this catcher.
Well, I mean, what could happen as well? What could happen is Hindus is editing the game like, oh no, I hit confirm and I accidentally edited Joker to be dead.
Or maybe a 4th perm on Joker.
That would be
getting down to Agi 1. Can you even do that? I mean, you can't even do that, can you?
No, but he could start the spiral in a different Spencer. Like, oh, he's now armor 6. Oh, he's now got his first niggle.
I hope this guy only ever gets perms and never dies.
Apart from strength perms.
That's true. That's too far. It's not funny.
Oh, he can take a move down. I think actually he takes 1 more move down. So he can take 1 more move down.
Got that to look forward to.
1 more move down, 2 armor downs, 2 strength downs.
You can get 3 niggles, can't you?
You can get 3 niggles, yeah. Yeah, I've seen some insane play. I think I told you about the guy, the Amazon player I saw that had 2 niggles, 2 move downs, an edge down, and on the first block of the game, an Underworld Blitzer that I had killed it. Just straight up dead.
You can't expect. How does it even survive
I
that
have
long?
no idea. Well, it seems like usually what happens is it manages to low roll enough on the injury to like get KO'd or like badly hurt permanently.
That's true. Someone's living off badly hurts, isn't it? That's what's happening here. Well,
Yeah.
clearly not that many badly hurts, given that. But yeah.
Yeah, and that guy still beat me even after having that team. So,
Oh. Should have brushed that aside. No one was going to
but
check.
I'm under World versus Amazon's on.
Yeah, it's going to happen, isn't it?
Next game, Alpha Masters versus Diastuco
Ooh,
Dragons.
an elf off. My favorite kind of game.
Two teams absolutely smashed to bits. We don't know what's going to come from the Diastuco Dragons due to the level ups they have not taken. So this could be a bit of a wild card game. Personally, I back Ricky Titan. I think that he's been doing pretty okay for considering how his team has been in the last like season or so. He doesn't have any star players. The blitzers on the Dark Elf team can knock the nonsense out of him. But then again, they play the Edge game better. So I'm going to back Ricky Titan. But I think you might be the voice of dissent.
No, I'm gonna say I thought you were gonna back the artist or a draw, but yeah, no, I'm in on Ricky Titan. I think he's been playing really well. I don't know, I can't back this up with data at all, but I feel like Dark Elves aren't actually that good against other elves. I think High Elves will be they're a bit faster, they've got the same armor, and
Yeah,
they can move the ball around nicer.
the fun thing about the Dark Elves is due to all the blodge sidestep against like bash teams, they can go ultra aggressive, fuck up cages, and like get hits where, or get one dices and all that. Against these elves, they can go, oh cool, that's novel, 2+ dodge, yeah.
Yeah,
Do
and
one.
yeah, exactly.
So yeah,
And
okay.
yeah, of course, Darkwark as well with the reroll. You've got to think he's not going to be quite 100%, is it? He's never
Yeah.
going to be fully in there. Whereas Ricky Titan clearly loves his guys, loves his high school, loves his clowns.
Yeah, so
Going to win.
I think he's gonna win. Okay, well, good. We're agreeing with each other.
Hell yeah.
Then, well, that's good. It's good that we have a working, friendly
I feel like I should
broadcasters
be dissenting more,
relationship.
but we just can't stop agreeing.
We can't argue. There's no antagonism in this broadcasting booth. Our next game is a bye week Gman for
That's been by which I reckon he'll lose.
I think so. I got a sneaking suspicion.
You slip some money under the counter.
So that's good for the open car beers who get their M&Gs back essentially.
That's true. That's a great time for a bye week.
Precisely. Dusseldorf Rainfire versus Freya's Guard is next.
Ooh.
So he gets
Yeah.
another week of Dark Elves.
And this is the sort of the week that Rainfire needs to get back into it, and that's not the game you want to have as a must-win, really, is it?
So, although there's like a decently big Dark Elf team, still Freya's Guard have more players, will knock the snot out of you, and you have less blodge sidestep as kind of like a standard as well. So, as the weaker Dark Elf team all around, it's a bit more scatterbrained. Well, not scatterbrained, but a bit more scattershot in terms of skills. Another Norse win.
I think, yeah, basically, I assume it's going to be exactly like last week for the Norse. Maybe the Norse can literally do exactly the same moves and see if it works out again.
It will literally happen again. Never forget. Next game is interesting. Wolfbark's Mischief versus Thermonuclear Pom.
Top of the table clash here.
Now, two good coaches. Two coaches who I hope, if they have any like respect for one another, will type one thing in the chat and one thing only. At the beginning of the game, they'll both type "bad luck, get fucked."
I hope they have no respect for each other.
Yeah, I hope this is just a bloodbath. Now, there are some notable losses, or a notable loss on the Wolfbark's team. He doesn't have his killer piece. He has a Might Blow piece, but he doesn't have his proper killer. He also will have to buy a fourth Gutter Runner, unless he chooses not to, just to see what dies in this game. However, he does have a nice healthy bench.
Will he get any inducements? Let's have a quick check. Yeah, he should get quite a lot of inducements actually.
He'll get the Wizard, which is enough to win him the game outright potentially.
And then he can get that little Gutter Runner guy or something. Who knows?
So you could get a stab and still have an actual Gutter Runner, which would also be an okay option. Also, it's shadowing and prehensile tail and stab, so that's amazing. Clearly, This could be a bit of a close game. It really depends on what Mighty Blow does for the Chorfs. But the Chorfs are also in a position where one fuck up will lead to a bolt, which will lead to them not being able to get the ball back for about 3 or 4 turns, if that. It's hard to call. This is probably the game of the week for me. It's the most open-ended between two very good coaches. We don't exactly know what will happen, even though Skaven can get knocked off the pitch, most likely. Not sure what the Elo says or the predictor says. I can't really predict this, but I'm going to go Wolfbark just because he wants to get that unbeaten record, continue to keep going.
God damn, we're agreeing on everything. I'm the same way. I think, obviously, the way that luck works is that if you were unlucky, you're now going to be lucky. Everyone knows that's
Oh yeah,
how it
I mean,
works.
that's Chinese feng shui, as they know.
Yeah, Wolfbark's just had a pretty rubbishy game of luck, and Calcium just had a pretty nice one. So we can only assume
Now some
that
call that the gambler's fallacy. I call that
hard science.
hard science. Yeah, I mean, literally proven fossil records of dinosaurs playing Blood Bowl. Literally, that's how fucking absolutely watertight this argument is.
I've just checked out the ELO, which gives it 65% to Wolfbark, but historically, Chorfs have done better in this matchup than the Skaven have. So yeah, I don't know. I still feel like Wolfbark will nick it because of the wizard. I think if he takes the wizard, that's going to be pretty helpful. You can't sure hands through a lightning bolt.
Yeah, wanker. Try sure hands that, dickhead. But obviously, this is the game to watch. I will be definitely I will take the time out of my busy schedule of getting like 4 hours of leisure a weekday just to watch this.
Yeah, we try and watch it together. We always say we do this and we never do it, so let's just say it again.
We'll try to. We'll try to, and we won't.
We can watch the replay together and just text each other.
Listen, we respect you, Wolfbark and Calcium, to say that we will look at it, but also we will not be looking at it. We are being honest while also caring about what you do.
What I'll do, I'll put the replay on and I'll hit fast forward until I see a skull, and then I'll go and see what happened there.
Oh yeah, he just skulled. What a shit player. Obviously, Wolfbark, because you rolled a skull here, deserved to lose. Bad play.
Terrible decision. Yeah.
Our last game is Raiding Crusaders versus Blocking Like a Hurricane.
I think we're going to agree on this one as well.
Well, yeah, it's Blocking Like a Hurricane is going to knock the shit out of a almost no skill Raiding Crusaders. Yes, you do have a block Mighty Blow Claw, but it shouldn't matter. It really shouldn't. There's no part.
Khemri are immune to disturbing presence. That's their sort of one power.
Yeah, and also, I mean, like, obviously you could say, what happens with the Khemri for 5 turns? Just roll 1s on all the foul appearances, and then, like, the Claw kills a Tomb Guardian a turn. Then, yeah, you might say that they have a chance, but by strength of team, by strength of record, yeah, it's going to be the Khemri.
Yeah, yellow, 77.77%. All lucky sevens for Blocky Like a Hurricane. And yeah, I just think, like you say, yeah, this Nurgle team is new. They just don't have enough. It's going to be because the Nurgle, they can't do anything, can they?
No,
so if they don't, what are they going to do? A pass?
Yeah, you're going to pass, wanker.
It's you say it's not like the Nurgle are completely counted out, but on balance of things, it feels like it's going to be law of averages, really.
Precisely, yeah. And with that, this is the end of the recap prediction segment. We will now go on to our final segment, the final closing thoughts. You have any thoughts?
I haven't had a thought since last week, not a single one.
I have a thought. You know what? Brexit does mean Brexit. And we had 2 geezers in our office today. I think they were some sort of European. Not quite sure.
Ooh.
And what they did, right, is I signed them up and said, alright, it's nice to see you, mate. I'll get in touch about getting you some work. You know, stealing our jobs and all that. So, you know, have a good one, mate. And they're like, yeah, you too. And they're sitting on the sofas. Okay, cool. I'm like, oh yeah, you're allowed to go, mate. Don't worry. You don't have to sort of keep staying here. You're like, oh yeah, no worry. Yeah, yeah. One of them like gets up and starts charging his phone. I'm like, are you waiting for a taxi or something? Yeah. So I wait another.
Interesting response.
I wait for another 5 minutes doing my stuff. And I just realised I'm just not doing anything, just like sitting around. And like Ubers don't take more than 5 minutes. They don't. They don't. And also, if you were ordering it, you'd be looking at your phone constantly. They weren't. They were just like going and picking their noses. So then I was like, okay, sorry guys, can you leave please? We're very busy and we can't have you loitering around the office. They say nothing to that, and one of them starts cracking his neck. So I go, "Raw, you fucking European bastards! Oh, not you!" Oh no, what I did say was like, "All right, now, okay, go, mate. You got to go." And they're like, "Oh, okay. We'll send you our CVs, yeah? Yeah, all right, mate. Go on. Have a good one, yeah." Finally, after cracking their neck and I don't know what they're gonna do, mug me and steal the jobs or something, they left. And when I say steal the jobs, it's because we're an employment agency. It's not just racism.
Not just racism.
They're here to get a job. Literally.
Contextual racism.
Yeah, the racism is very contextual. I also didn't say what European they were. I gave them a normal British accent as well. I wasn't going like
Yeah, and well, Wales, that's in Europe. We could have been talking about you can't be racist against Welsh people, so
Welsh people aren't.
checkmate.
But Welsh people aren't real though.
That's true.
The nation of Wales is not a real country. The Welsh people have never existed. That just because they go like oh blah blah Cymru blah blah blah.
Just because you made up a word for Wales that
li-
isn't Wales.
I was listening. Right, and this is another thought by me. I was listening to Radio X and I was going home, and you know what? I was listening to it, and I heard an entire advertisement in Welsh. No English. It wasn't even like we fooled you. It's actually in English. All Welsh, talking about fucking Cymru and all. I was like, what? That's just.
Who knows what they were advertising? Probably.
Probably don't know.
Terrorists and
Terrorism or child porn, most likely.
It's probably an advert for child porn.
Just on the radio, on primetime radio, just child porn Welsh. Yeah.
It's not even good on the radio, is it? Child porn.
No. Yeah, I watch all my So you've been done for child? Oh, I don't have any pictures of children on my thing. He only has MP3s. Fuck. We can't prosecute.
Gotta let him go.
This could be anyone.
This is too low quality.
This could be someone squeaking some balloons together for all we know. Oh god. I love the post recap, frankly, because it does let me just chat shit for like 5 minutes. We
do have to put up with the Blood Bowl part of it so that we can get to this.
Also, I've been looking at for a lot of this the levels, and they're all still working. So it's not going to be like, oh,
It's successfully recorded.
Wow, what a hurdle! We managed.
I could have made fun of Darkwalk for re-rolling some more if I'd known it was going to get into him.
You know what? You have a low blow. You have a moment for a low blow. Say it before.
Should be my final thought, shouldn't it?
Be your final
next
thought,
week.
then.
It'll be my final thought next week.
No, brain launch is your thought now. Say it now.
I mean, that's just it, isn't it? What you do in Darkwalk. Don't announce it 3-4 games before the end. Now I'm just going to say every recap. I'm going to bring this up.
Listen, if you want to call Darkwalk a dickhead, I'll leave it in.
I just want to say he's a villain. He's the villain of the league.
Yeah.
Truly despicable behaviour. He's let down the whole elf community.
Yeah, Elfin Union's here.
Yeah, you're kicked out of the Elven Union now.
Yeah, and that's it. We'll never hire a Dark Elf on our team again.
Not enough doubles, he said. Not enough doubles. How many do you want? How many does he actually have? He has one. To be fair, one isn't a lot, is it?
No.
But on the other hand, why are you re-rolling into a bash team?
Yeah, re-rolling something good like Pro Elves. I mean, to be fair, I also play Darkwalk in UKBBL this week, so I can't chat too much shit. Otherwise, he'll just knock the shit out of my Skaven team. So I'm actually going to be.
What teams do you play in UKBBL?
That's a good question, actually. I don't know. Hold on, let me go into UKBBL. This is riveting. I love when this is part of the recap where it's like they have to listen to me start desperately going.
I know Dan quite listens to this, so it's a captive audience. We can just talk about him for hours. You'll have to listen to everything we say.
Tick tack, tick tack. Oh, he actually might be. No, okay, that's not him. No, that's not him.
This is good content.
That's not him either. Oh, it might be him.
Ooh.
Oh, it is. Okay, yep, he's playing Orcs.
Oh, so he's playing multiple bash teams at once.
I
Oh, that's
okay, let's read out Dark
I'm gonna
Squad's
have to lie
team.
down.
Oh,
Ooh.
I'm so steamed.
so mad.
He has a Blitzer that has Strength Up, Edge Up, Mighty Blow Tackle. He has an Edge Up, Mighty Blow Tackle, Guard Blitzer. He has a Movement Up, Mighty Blow Guard Blitzer. And he has like 2 Black Hawks that have like move busts. He also has a Move Up, Kickoff Return Accurate Block Thrower. And
A lot of movement. Is he trying to make those orcs into Dark Elves to make up for the fact that he's ditching Dark Elves?
Disgusting. And like my team is just bad right now. My team is really bad. So yeah, bye bye my Edge 5 guy. He's double niggled now. I do have a move. I have a natural 1-turner. I have a Dauntless Tackle Wrestle guy. I have a Dodge Block Gut Runner. I have a Juggernaut Strength Up Mighty Blow, and I guess now he's Tackle as well. Storm Vermin, a Mighty Blow Storm Vermin, and that's it.
That sounds cool. Sounds totally fine.
Well,
I wouldn't reroll that into a bash team,
yeah,
for example.
I wouldn't. I'm not scared. I mean, I actually, if I was like already running orcs, my current teams in the leagues are Nurgle, Chorfs, Underworld, and Skaven. I think my next option should be something like vampires or like.
Yeah, I was going to say
elves.
Kislev, which is basically like vampires.
I've done a Kislev run though. Is the issue in another league where I went undefeated the entire regular season, went to playoffs, and got like dumped out by season 1 Nurgle who just died.
Bloody duh. I've only ever played about 4 games of Blood Bowl, so I've not got this kind of wealth of experience to draw on.
I have never played Blood Bowl.
I don't even know what you're talking
I'm
about.
not part of REBBL. I'm just here because I got asked.
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne. What's that? I like Bloodborne. Yeah, I like Bloodborne. That's a good game. Anyway, I feel like instead of subjecting people to the last 10 minutes of this, we should now.
They've made it through, especially Dark Walk.
I'm sure they're like, oh, that was a good recap, and there's still 10 minutes left. They're like, well, that's my cue to shut off.
Let's close. This tab is closed the second we finish the predictions.
Yeah, well, hopefully they enjoy the chat. If they don't, then get fucked.
Then they're not allowed to listen next week.
Yeah, precisely.
We're just going to say a special password now, and if you don't say it at the start of next week,
the
video won't play.
Well, then again, they'll just expect to look out for the end of this part. They're like, okay.
Damn, I shouldn't have said that, should I? Yeah, oh, I've given it away.
Yeah, well, they'll just like be skipping until they hear this is the super secret password.
We have to put in a dummy password.
Oh, I know what we'll do. No, I know what we'll do. We'll do what happened in Brasseye in the final episode, where Chris Morris, he spliced in a single frame into the episode that read Michael Grade's a cunt, and you have to
Dr. Hep is a. We'll just say it really quickly.
Yeah, exactly. The 1 frame, so you have to listen all the way through to hear it. Otherwise, you don't get 1, access to the recap. 2,
I respect.
Yeah, and 3, we also ask Hindus to delete members of your team.
Ooh, I like that. We should definitely have that power if we don't already.
I wish we did. But yeah, that's us for this week. I'm gonna try and upload this like tomorrow or tonight.
Damn. Ooh, Tina, that's ambitious.
I mean, I uploaded the last one yesterday, and that was 27 minutes.
Okay, let's aim for better than...
Yeah, you shouldn't laugh. Like, what? The recap is incompetent and all like refuses to do work. Like, he had like the easiest. Like, it literally took me 20 minutes from encoding to uploading to get like that all done. But I encoded it, and it was like, I'll wait another 2 days, and then it like just didn't happen. I was like, oh, Tuesday. Well,
here it is. It's before the next week, so it's fine.
Enjoy your 15 minutes of us breathily going while I'm drinking a beer. This team's good. Yeah, this team's good. Last 10 minutes was just chatting shit. That was what it was.
What an incredible... People are probably listening to it back to back, are they?
Yeah.
So in which case, thanks for listening to that. Once again.
And thanks
for listening to us this week, though. Like, actual thanks.
Yeah, thank you. We tried this week. I hope you enjoyed it.
Night, everybody.
Night, everyone. We'll see you again next week. Best of luck. Stay fantastic, etc., etc. And good luck. Have fun. Bad luck. Get fucked.